everyone, welcome to the Lisa Loves Stitching podcast, well, Flosstube I should say. I keep going to say podcast. I used to do knitting podcasts in the beginning, but now I'm into cross stitch, so I do Flosstube. So, in case you were in any way wondering, this is a Flosstube episode, not sure what number, I never check. And it is Saturday the 12th of October. Tomorrow is my lovely mummy's birthday. So I sent her parcel off and she got it yesterday. So that was nice. I didn't expect it to arrive till Monday. So that was good. As you can see, we're in October and I decided to get a bit Halloween-y this time round. I don't normally. And I got this cute little witch's hat today at Spotlight, which is sort of like a Joann's store or a Michael's craft store. And my shopping bag is cute. Boo! And yeah, so I went to there because I need to get some more DMC for one of my projects, and unfortunately it wasn't on sale. Our DMC in Australia is much more expensive than you get it in the US. We pay $1.30 per skein, and that's just for the plain skeins. Any of the fancy ones, you have to pay up to $4 a skein. So anyway, it wasn't on sale unfortunately, so I paid $1.30 a skein. So what's been doing? My grandmother hasn't been very well, so my mind has been on that mainly, so I haven't been posting much on Instagram too much lately. She's in a rehabilitation hospital at the moment and she'll be there until she heals and can get pain-free. But she has a crushed vertebra in her lower back. Her L2 is crushed. As what happens when you're 100 years and 4 months, as of yesterday. And so, you know, the bones get a bit brittle with age. So she didn't have a fall or anything. It just happened. Not sure how long it happened, but she'd been having back pain for 2 months. Anywho, so we've all been going and ringing and visiting and everything like that. So I flew down on my own to see her and last weekend, which was lovely because, you know, as I say, she's in bonus time, if you like to think of it that way, you know, over 100. And so she's been in so much pain, I wasn't sure if she'd come through this or not, but she's very resilient. So I thought it's still best to go and see her. I feel better having seen her. She feels better having seen me. And if something untoward should happen, we've had our goodbyes and we both feel happy about that. And not to be sad because she's had a really good long life and had lots of adventures, you know. A girl from the country who ended up travelling to Melbourne and then to Sydney and then to Newcastle. Like she's had more adventures than other ladies her age, so I'm not sad about that. I just, you know, the longer you have them, then I'm very close to my nan and I never want to let her go, but I have to one day. So anyway, it was good to catch up with her and give her a hug and a kiss and just see each other in person. So she's about 800 kilometres away from me down south in Newcastle, which is where I used to live. So this is a picture of Newcastle, and that's the Newcastle Baths, and there's Nobby's Beach, Newcastle Baths and Newcastle Beach, and that's the Hunter River snaking up there. So where is it? I used to live right there, right near the beach. So it was 2 minutes walk between 3 beaches, which was fabulous. And I miss being able to go for afternoon walks around the beach, but I'm in sunny Queensland now. But it's still nice to go down there and see Newcastle. You can see it a bit better there. It's traditionally a industrial city. BHP used to have a steelworks there that closed in the late 1990s, and it was for about 80 years the biggest employer in Newcastle, was at the steelworks. So everyone from Newcastle knows BHP. Now we get cruise ships in there, and it's become a tourist place. It's 20 minutes from the Hunter Valley Vineyards, and it's only 2.5 hours north of Sydney, and it's only another couple of hours on and you get to Port Macquarie, so it's right in the sweet spot, if you like. Yeah, so all my family come from the Hunter Valley, and my nan come from Boggabri, which is in western New South Wales, northwestern New South Wales. So it was interesting recently. I follow a Facebook page called Lost Newcastle, and people get on there with photos. Can you identify this person or that person, or do you remember this, and just down memory lane type thing. And anyway, my nephew's grandmother sent me a picture from this Facebook page, and it turns out I'll just cover up that person's name. He's my third great-grandfather, James Schofield. He was a convict from Ipswich in Suffolk, England, and he came out in about 1820 something to Australia as a convict for stealing a pig with his cousin, I think it was. And anyway, he ended up being the first convict businessman. So he had a inn called the Highland Laddie, and it was positioned where all the travellers would pass through, and he named the inn the Highland Laddie after his Scottish wife Janet Angus. And she was a habitual criminal from a very young age, and so she didn't know any better, but people still loved her nonetheless, and the family really, really loved her based on her epitaph at the old cemetery, which is now illegible, but someone transcribed it, and from that you could tell that she was a very much loved mother and grandmother. So yeah, James lived in the Hunter Valley, and then he moved to another section in the Hunter Valley after he had the inn, and he farmed wheat. And I found some records in the newspaper for him, for the cricket records, and for winning awards for his wheat, and it was sent over to the UK, as would happen then from the colonies. And yeah, and then even one where his farm burnt down and he lost all his crops and everything, and then the following week they were rallying around asking in the paper if anyone could donate tools and seed and everything to Mr. Schofield to get his crops started again. So that was nice. So he's obviously a well-respected member of the community up there, and also he was originally indentured with working for Archibald Bell and William Cox, the explorers who sort of found their way over the ranges into the Blue Mountains, and then up to the Hunter Valley through the ranges. So yeah, interesting life he must have had. And they had many children, and their children had many children, and eventually there was me. So it's nice to finally put a face to the name, because I never imagined that my convict ancestor would have a photo, because, you know, it was expensive to get done back then, and I never imagined that I'd actually see what he looked like. And it's quite funny because he looks very much like my brother and my nephews, especially as they're very good at growing beards. So he looks a lot like them, or they look a lot like him. So yeah, so anyway, so that was a nice trip down memory lane. I'm waffling. What else? Just busy back at work, and due to some protest action in the city, our office decided to tell everyone to work from home this past week, so that's been nice and peaceful. Working at home, I've had a view of the garden out of my craft window, and yesterday storm clouds come over, thunder and a bit of lightning, and then since last night, and it just stopped at about lunchtime today, was raining all night. So Our tank's got some water in finally. Yippee! Hopefully it rains some more later, but the sun's shining now. And then it also would have cleared off our solar panels that we have on the roof, so they'll absorb more energy. So that was really good. So yay. Yay for rain. And I hear from someone else that it was raining out in the out west where the farmers need it. So hopefully they got a little bit of rain to help them get through this really tough time. As well, we've had more bushfires, and sadly one couple in northern New South Wales lost their life, and quite a number of homes were lost. So that's sad. We're pretty good here in Australia in that it doesn't often happen that we get lives lost. We're pretty good at dealing with bushfires, but every now and then they get out of control, and unfortunately this couple weren't able to escape in time. It just is a reminder that you need to be prepared for an emergency and have a plan with your family about what you would do in certain situations, so that if that happens, like a bushfire or even a house fire, how are you going to get out? What if the main exit's blocked? How are you going to get out, and what to do for safety and things like that. So something good for us all to think of. So, do you like my spooky mummy mug? I love him. I got him from Coles. He was like $6. Bargain. I mean, he's not top quality, but he's cute. So, got my rooibos tea in here. So where to begin? I have piles and piles of stuff to show you, and I hardly know where to begin. How about let's deal with stuff I've received. Stitchy kindness. I have received a lot of stitchy kindness lately, and I'm so thankful that this community's so supportive of each other and kind, and we look after one another, and it really makes your heart sing when you get some stitchy kindness in the mail, especially as it usually comes on a day when you're having a tough day or a stressful day or whatever, and it just cheers you up to no end. So my first stitchy kindness comes from Dawn, Frosty Dawn Cross Stitch. I think I've got that right. If not, I'll put a link down to her podcast, her Flosstube below. So get over and check on her. She sent me this beautiful card with a little note on the back. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I love Jane Austen, any of those type of period dramas, and this reminds me of Jane Austen. And if I was living in that era, that would be me when I was younger, stitching away. So I'm going to put this in a frame, Dawn, because it's just so pretty. I love it. And I'll put that in my craft room on the wall or on one of my shelves. It's really beautiful. Thank you. And the reason I got the card and the stitchy kindness, Dawn was hosting a giveaway on her channel, and only 2 of us entered. And so only one could win. And I wasn't the one who won, but she felt bad that it was only 2 of us and one missed out, which, I totally understand. I don't mind. But she did offer to send me something as a consolation prize, if you like. And so I sent her my address, and she sent me a few options, and I picked Bent Creek Christmas Row. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, there we go. Isn't it cute? It's got these little gnomes on it and the little birdies. I've got some sparkly Christmas thread from DMC, so I'm going to just use my own colours in this when I do it, and I've got some even weave, and come November I think I might start this. I don't think it'll take that long to do. Famous last words. But look, they've got the little popcorn with the cranberries in it, and we can't have that here because it's not cold enough to keep the vermin away. Something could eat it off our tree. The little gnomes, the little bauble, which I might do in sparkly thread, and look, he's holding a little Christmas tree, and then the pretty bird and the lovely swirls. So yeah, I'm looking forward to starting that. So thank you so much, Dawn. I really appreciate that. And she also sent me some Swiss chocolate. Yum! Dark chocolate, my favourite, which has already been started to be gobbled. So thank you, Dawn. I really, really appreciate it. That was such a lovely gift to receive in the mail. And Dawn already knows what this looks like, but as a thank you, I've knit her the Sweet Felicia hat, which is this pattern by Jodie Brown of Mrs. Brown's Bags. And it's a cable hat. And it's using DK weight yarn, double knit yarn, 8-ply. And it's still wet because I blocked it last night because I've been slack and haven't sent it to her yet. So I'm still waiting for this to dry. I put a towel up inside it to help it dry. And isn't it lovely? I just love this yarn. This is by Skein in Sydney. And she hand dyes yarn. So this is all hand dyed. And it's called Witch's Brew. Isn't it lovely? Look at all the purples and the flecks of green and grey in there. It's just beautiful. So Dawn didn't want a pom-pom, so I've left that off. And that's, as soon as that dries, that's going in the mail. So it's coming your way soon, Dawn, I promise. Sometime this week I'll be posting it. I work from home Thursday and Friday each week, so I might pop down to the post and get it in by the end of the week at the latest. So that's coming your way with a couple of other little goodies. And next, oh, that was an FO. See, I combined an FO. This is going to be totally hectic and random. Sorry, people. So that was one FFO that I have. And then another Stitchy Kindness come from Daleen in Washington. So Dawn's in Switzerland. Daylene's in Washington in the US. And she sent me this beautiful card. Look at this cross stitch, love. And it was a housewarming gift. So it come with some thread in it, and there's a little taped on the inside is a little butterfly charm. But I'm not going to show you that because that's the letter that she wrote me. And she just wanted to wish me, Wayne and I, a happy housewarming. And oh, there goes Pearl. She's just sprinted down the hallway. Yeah, just wishing us a housewarming, you know. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was the one and only card we received for moving into our new home. So it's treasured. Thank you. And the little charm I'm going to save to finish off something that I make, or make a scissor fob, or to put on a little pillow that I cross stitch or something like that. So thank you, Daleen. And that card is just beautiful. Daleen makes all her own cards, which is just lovely. I wish I was that good. I'm terrible. And another Stitchy Kindness, well, it was a prize on a giveaway, came from Daleen again. I couldn't believe it. So she had a giveaway on her channel in conjunction with her friend Barb. And I think it's Barb. Gosh, I hope I've got the name right. Yes, I think it is. And, oh, there's the card. So many lovely cards. Barbara, Braun and Daleen. So she sent me this card and I won a project bag and floss holders and like thread drops and this beautiful, oh God, which do I show first? The Scarlet House, a Perfect World sampler. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, beautiful, beautiful colours, full coverage down the bottom there, and like the checkerboard grass, that's going to look amazing. And it says, in a perfect world you will find me here with birds and the flowers and the dogs and the deer, which is exactly where you would find me if I was at that place, at that house. So pretty. And then Barb also organised with Daleen and the chart. And this beautiful project bag. Check out the roses. And the clear front. And the cute little ribbon tab. And I love this little gingham and the polka dots. It just looks so pretty. And I got with that these pretty thread drops that match everything that have got roses on. So that's going to come in handy when I stitch this sampler. I want to kit it up like now. And she sent me some lovely tea. It is Butterscotch Blondie, which I'm going to try maybe tomorrow. That'll be delicious. So that's Tarzo Butterscotch Blondie. So that sounds delicious. Thank you, Daleen. Thank you, Barb. My mum's a Barbara. And so all Barbaras are awesome, as well as Daleen's and Dawn's. So thank you very much. I'm so excited. So exciting to get all this lovely stuff in the mail. And then Daleen, she sent me a thank you because I sent her, when you're on 123 Stitch, you can actually, if you have a friend and you know their email address, you can put their email address in and you can view their wish list. So you can't view their personal information or their address or anything like that. But if you already have their address, you can then pick something off their wish list and have it sent to them. So that's what I did for Daleen. I sent her, it was like a polar bear with a Christmas tree. And it's called Bear in the Tree. And anyway, as a thank you, she sent me this beautiful cross-stitch sampler card. Like, how pretty is that? That's another one that's going to get framed. Seriously, that's beautiful. It's Jane Patterson sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. And this one is actually the one stitched by Daleen. How stunning is that? So what Daleen does is she gets photos or cards and sticks them on some beautiful cardstock paper and makes her own cards up. It's so beautiful. And I had a lovely little thank you in there. And she also sent me some, I've left it out in the living room. She sent me some beautiful hand-dyed thread. Is it Weeks Dye Works? It was Patriotic. I think now, but it was a pretty blue. Oh, it's just so lovely. Thank you, Daleen. I can't wait to use that in something, as well as the other thread you sent me recently. So thank you so much for your kindness to everyone. You know, it's just nice, especially if it's something you don't expect, or, you know, it's just a nice surprise in the mail. And it usually comes at a time when you need that boost, which all of these did. It really did cheer me up to no end. So thank you very much. What was I going to say? Another stitchy kindness. Now I'll probably get this wrong. It's a random act. You'll have to have a look at Dawn's channel, which I'll put down below, as well as Daleen has a lovely Flosstube as well, which I'll put the link down below. So go and watch them. But Dawn has started something which is like a random act of kindness, and it's for people who don't have a Flosstube channel, like they don't produce Flosstube videos. They're just a viewer and someone who loves watching you, and you randomly decide to contact them, or you might have seen their Instagram page or something like that, and send them something like a stitchy kindness in the mail. And they're not to tell anyone that you're the one that gave it to them. They're just they can share it, but they don't, it doesn't gain you anything by sharing your channel or anything like that. But it's just there to say thank you for them viewing you and taking the time out of their day to spend with you as a Flosstuber. And I think it's a really good idea. So come the new year, I might contact someone randomly and ask for your address and send you some stitchy kindness. So you'll have to see it. It'll just be random because it's a random act of kindness, but it's to do with stitchy. So have a look at Frosty cross stitch Flosstube and find the exact hashtag, but that's what it'll be. So yeah, I think that's a really, really good thing to start. So I'm going to join in with that one. So thanks, Dawn, for starting all that. Okay, what else? Let's go with what I got in the mail recently. I ordered this ages ago on pre-order, which is the Christmas Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornaments for 2019. There's lots of cute ornaments in here. I really like the putty cat with the mouse, and I really like the sheep and the little birdie. Yeah, there's lots of really cute. Oh, look at the little quilty one. Lots of really cute little stitches little ornaments you can make. So I got that because, you know, they never go out of date. Seriously, you can grab that anytime down the track and have some inspiration to make an ornament. So that'll come in handy in years to come. And then I happened to be at my local newsagents, and I know you can never get American cross-stitch magazines in a news agency here. So it must have been that the owner is a cross-stitcher, but I got the Halloween one. How awesome is that? I thought I'd missed out. So that's really cool. So there's lots of cute ornaments for Halloween in there. And I mean, you don't have to make them as ornaments. You could make them into anything, little pillows, little wall hangings, whatever you like. See the price we pay? $21.99 for that magazine. Just be thankful if you live in the US and you don't have to pay top dollar to get this stuff. So anyway, so I got that. And I also bought this book as well, which is not stitchy related. It's a Quilter's Companion, and it has some really, I think it's Australian, and it has some really, where did I just see that? Lovely quilts in it. Oh yeah, like, sort of like native flowers, but I like the traditional sort of ones. Like, where is it? Oh, there's that, that's really pretty. Not that I've ever probably going to finish a quilt, because I have a quilt that I've never quilted the top of because I've started 10 times and oh god, it's a mess. First I started hand quilting it, then I started trying to machine quilt it, then my machine jammed up because it couldn't handle the thickness of the quilt, which actually I've got over there. I should show you at the end. I'll show you my quilt that I have never finished. I've had it like 15, 20 years nearly. I would like to just, I don't care what it looks like, just machine finish it or something over the top of whatever silliness I've done, bind it and at least be able to have it on display or use it or whatever. Like, it just seems silly. And it comes from a friend who bought a box at an auction, a $5 junk box, and down the bottom of this box was all these pieces that hadn't been stitched, like English paper piecing, and so I stitched them all together into a quilt. And it's really retro fabric from the 70s and 60s and everything, and up to the 80s and that, so it's really cool. So anyway, that's for the end. So what else did I get? Oh, when I bought the ornaments, Christmas ornaments, I got the Prairie School of Santa for 2019. So he's really cute with the little sheepy friend and the little lamb in his arms. So I probably won't stitch it this year, but maybe next year. So that's another one. When I went to Newcastle recently, they, probably about 18 months ago, they closed the train station in Newcastle, which is historic. And anyway, these were the old-fashioned board telling you what time the trains were leaving from what platform and what stations they were going to. And they were there in use right up until 18 months ago when they closed the station down. And I was devastated when they closed the station down. But anyway, things happen like that. And so I got this little postcard when I was travelling home and thought I'll put that in a little frame and that'll just remind me of home. Many a time I looked at that board, and Mum would take me when I was little, and we'd be going to Sydney for the day on the train, which would take like 3 hours if the train didn't break down. And I used to get to go to the newsagent shop at the station and pick a comic out, and so I picked I would always pick the Garfield books, and I would read that over and over and over again for the 6-hour round trip to Sydney. So that was always exciting because I got that book when I got to travel. Anyway, when I went to Newcastle, Mum had lots of goodies waiting for me that she has found at thrift stores and here, there and everywhere. And anyway, she got me this beetle needle threader. This is brand new. And it lights up when you need to see it in the dark, which is really bright. And then you just slide that down, it turns off. So isn't that cute, little pink ladybug? I haven't seen them anywhere. I don't know where she got it from. Oh, it's got a lanyard to hold it on around your neck. Yeah, so that was really cute. She also gave me, she found these at an op shop, some scroll rods. So they'll be good for doing my big samplers. Now I just need to get like a stand to hold them. So that was awesome. She lent me a book that she found at the local bookstore called The Red Keep, and it's a medieval book. And it's really cool. It's sort of like gives you really detailed descriptions of like life in medieval England. So that's something that I want to read, but I have to be very careful because it's starting to like fall apart at the binding. So I got that. She also found these in an op shop. Aren't these gorgeous? Little birdies. So I'm going, this looks like even weave. I'm going to hang those in my craft room. So they're lovely. She gave me, she found a little mini hoop that I can use for stitching, which I like the little ones for travelling. And then she gave me all this fringing, and she said I could dye it if I want. Oops. I could dye it if I want, whatever colour, and then it's to use on these these Art Deco dolls, ceramic dolls. Ooh, reminds me of my days in ballet, doing jazz ballet. And basically you wrap the fringing around the base of this doll, and it's a half ceramic doll, and this one's an ornament. And then you can add extra lace on the outside. This is an old one. You can see it's all sort of brown at the, with age. And then she's got this gorgeous long skirt, very elegant. And you could dye it any colour. And she's very Art Deco. Look at that collar sticking up, very nice. Sort of Art Deco come 17th century, or 18th century I should say. So there's this one she gave me, this lady. Isn't she gorgeous? Very pretty. And then this lady, this young lady. I love her, I love the yellow. Look at the bonnet. Isn't she gorgeous? Wow. So pretty. And this lady, I didn't show you her back. So yes, I've got those two, and then you can put the there's holes in the base, but you can just glue this around the base, and you glue it around and around and around and around, and eventually you get this fringed dress. And you can do whatever. You could use fabric, you don't have to use fringing. Because it's got these little holes on it, you can just stitch it in or glue it on, whichever, and then have that as a decoration. Because they don't have holes in the top of them, they'll have to be so that you can sit them, and or you could get legs for them and put like a fabric base for legs, for a bum and legs, and then have little ceramic feet or something, and have them sitting on a shelf with a little skirt on. So anyway, so I got those. Mum also gave me this cute cat picture that she got at the thrift store for $6. And it's, why do you like watching me bathe? And the cat's probably thinking the same thing, because, you know, the cat's always licking itself and cleaning. And they're probably wondering why we watch them bathe as well. So I thought that was quite cute. So I'll put that up somewhere in here in the craft room when I get some hooks up. So that's that. So, hey, we're 34 minutes in. I haven't shown you any actual cross stitch. Oh, so I better show you what I've been working on this week. I have been working on, for the Halloween birthday sale, because this month is my birthday on the 25th. just before Halloween. So I am stitching for my Halloween sal, birthday sal, is The Old Witch Mary. And it's by Lila Studio. And it says, Old Witch Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With moss and slime and poisonous vine and toadstools all in a row. So, I only had black available to me at the time. DMC 310. And I'll just undo this. Little mini hoops. See, I like the little mini hoops. Sorry, it's all crinkly and I haven't ironed it. Nothing like being disorganised. So I've done the title and started to do the first word of the little rhyme. And then I used that the glow in the dark thread that I used recently on another project. I used to do the moon, so the moon will glow in the dark. I'm also going to do the toadstool spots on the top of the toadstool and the cat's eyes as glow in the dark thread, so they'll glow. And so I'm halfway down Old Witch Mary and I'm getting sick of black, just stitching in black. So today I went and got the rest of the thread, the DMC thread, to do the other colours so I can have a bit of a break from the monotony of just black stitching. So that's really fun. So that's what I've been working on, and that's pretty much all I've been working on. But I will show you, because I didn't show last time and Dawn asked about it, is where I was up to with my Botany Bay sampler. So I haven't done any more on it. This is the Botany Bay sampler by Fox and Rabbit Designs. And so far I've stitched some of the flowers are going across and some of the border going down. And I picked up the orange thread I need to do the satin stitch in the corners here. And then you can hardly see it, but I started stitching across this other border underneath. So that's all I've done so far. So this border here, just in pale pink, you can barely see it. So I've started stitching that. So I'm not sure where Laura is up to with that one, but she's been stitching other things and she's packing her bags because I think it's tomorrow she goes to New York. So jealous. And she's going to be hitting up the cross-stitch needlework shops as well as the yarn shops because she's going to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So Laura, have an awesome trip. And I'll be living vicariously through you by watching all of your photos that you post up along the way. And I'm still gathering bits for Laura's advent calendar, and I was disappointed I ordered something from very far away and it hasn't turned up yet. I think it might not come. I think it's got lost in the mail. But anyway, that's life. So I'll have to think of something else. What else have I got? I did start something else recently. Have I got it in here? Oh, bummer. I don't know where the actual... Well, I'm sorry about this, but I did start the Willy Wagtail, Country Threads Willy Wagtail. I just started on the branch up here, this branch I think it was, or this one, and I didn't have all the threads, which I've now got the threads, so I'm just doing that on white Zweigart from Spotlight, but I don't know what I've done with the actual whip. Hopeless. So, what else? Oh, I have an FFO. I stopped doing my ornament for Christmas because it was sending me cross-eyed. I need to sit outside where I can see the stitches because doing white on white was really hard for me too. I was sending me cross-eyed trying to see it, and it was giving me a headache, so I've just put it in the naughty corner for a while. So anyway, so I do have an FFO, and do you think I can find the, I'm so disorganised, I'll tell you. Do you think I could find the magazine I got it out of? It was one of the cross-stitch magazines, I think an American one. Anyway, Laura, you may not be aware, but when you sent me my lovely project bag with this cat fabric, there was actually a small piece of fabric that was just, must have grabbed hold of this fabric and stuck to it. And so when I got it, I had this piece of spare fabric. So I wasn't sure if you intended for me to get it or not, but anyway, I thought I'd use it on this. So I hope that's okay. But this is the back of my little pillow, my little Halloween pillow with the little cute kitties. And this is the front. So it says trick or treat, and I only did parts of, it's not the whole completed thing chart from the magazine, but I just took out the bits that I wanted to do. But it's this cute little ghost with his trick or treat bucket waiting for his lollies, and there's a little spider with hanging off the trick or treat, and the white thread actually glows green in the dark. So the spider's web and its eyes and the ghost glow in the dark. And it's really, really funny to see. And then I just had this spare trim ribbon, so I sewed that on. And this is just on leftover fabric from my old white farmhouse sampler. I have plenty left, so that's gone a long way. So I got my value for money out of that. And then this trim, my mum does not like orange. I don't even know how it happened, but she gave me all these bags. Bags and bags of ribbons and trim, lace, ribbons and binding, braiding, more lace and ribbons and braiding and sequins and all sorts of things. So she gave me these little bags, and I found this orange braid, so that was perfect to go with this. So I just hand stitched it on around the outside. The bum's not very good, but hey, you're not going to look at that, are you? So that is so cute. I don't know if it'll do it now because I haven't charged this up properly. Let me see if, excuse me, let's see, does it do it yet? No. Oh, I've got the light off. It's not going to be dark enough. Bummer. Anyway, it does glow. No, it's not going to do it. You usually have to put it under the daylight lamp first. Anyway, whatever. If you have a look at my Instagram page, you will see it there glowing in the dark. So you can get the idea. But I've just got that sitting on the TV unit, ready for Halloween. This is as much decoration as I have for Halloween. This is my first year celebrating it because I don't normally bother because it's not really an Australian thing. More and more now you're seeing stuff in the shops and everything, but it's not really, you know, like in your local street, you may or may not get anyone turn up at all to trick or treat. And in our street where we lived previous to this house, you get a note just before Halloween with a balloon in the envelope, and you would stick a balloon, inflated balloon, on your letterbox so the kids know which house to knock on the door of, and if there's no balloon they would leave you alone so that you don't get harassed. So that's that. I think that's it. So I'll just quickly, that's all folks. If you're only here for the cross stitch, that's all. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you if you're a subscriber. I've had some new subscribers recently, and I really appreciate that you want to come back and see more. I'm sorry this has been such a disorganised, unplanned episode, but I really wanted to get a video out to you. And the next couple of weeks are going to be busy because it's my birthday coming up, and so I don't know when I'll record. I'll try and have some more stitching done for you for next time so that you've got something to look at rather than listening to me talk hind leg off a horse. Yeah, yeah, so that's it. So if you are interested in quilts, I'll grab my quilt out quickly and show you. I've just backed it in black. This is just a tacking stitch to hold the sandwich together. I wish someone would just come and finish this for me. Oh, so this is my quilt that I hand stitched all of those flowers together, and the black, everything you see on the front here I hand stitched. So that's that bit. And just more of the same. So look at all the retro fabrics. Ooh, 1970s and 80s and 60s. They're all some other lady's fabrics, and some of them were put on cardboard from bra packets and things, Triumph bras and stuff. It was just really funny seeing what she used for the templates. But yeah, so that's all that, and it's just got like a, I don't know if it's a wool or a cotton batting. And yeah, I have tried quilting it, and it's just not my thing. I like piecing them together. I just don't want to finish them. I want someone else to do the hard bit for me. I don't even mind hand stitching the binding on at the end, but I just don't want to quilt it. So it's a shame. It's been just sitting there for like 15-20 years doing nothing after I hand pieced it. So it would be good to have it finished. But I might try it on my old sewing machine to see if it'll work, because it's a bit more sturdy than my newer one. But they're very tiny, so they're not really made for quilting. So, and I'm too embarrassed to take it to a quilter to finish it off, because they'd probably say unpick it all, and I don't want to unpick it all, because the bit of quilting that I have done is messy. I'd really like to just hand it over and say, just quilt over the top of it as it is, whatever it'll be, but I don't think they'd do that. They'd freak out. So, yeah, so anyway, so that's all, folks. I'll try and get another video out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But till then, keep stitching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!